Star Wars 7 by 7 episode 2603. There's a new trailer out for Star Wars Visions, which is the anime series coming to Disney Plus in September. And man, oh man, is it electric. And it's going to take a couple of days for us to talk about details that came along with that release. We'll start today by talking about the actors who are working on the English dub version of those episodes. Punch it. Hey Rebel Rouser, I'm Alan Voivod and this is Star Wars 7 by 7, your daily dose of Star Wars joy, and thank you so much for joining me for it. So, Star Wars Visions and those trailers, and yes, it's trailers plural, but it's only one trailer, but the reason why I'm saying that is because they released both the original Japanese language trailer and an English dub trailer. Both of them are available, and the episodes of Star Wars Visions are going to be available on Disney Plus as both the original Japanese language versions and English dub versions, which I think is very cool. That's, of course, happening on September 22nd. And I'll link to both versions of the trailer at the show notes for this episode and at sw7x7.com. So, you know, there are so many voice actors involved in this that there were any number of ways to slice it, and some big names are coming to it from the English dub version and from what I read on the Star Wars website, veteran voice actors in Japanese anime, so that's very cool too. I thought I would start out by just flagging familiar names in terms of people who are already Star Wars veterans who are doing English dub versions of this, because that is very cool, because they're coming from all ranges of Star Wars animation. And in some cases, some live action stuff in a way. So Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who played Slow and Low, did the voice of that character in The Last Jedi, is going to be doing some of the voice work along with Temuera Morrison, who of course is Boba Fett, none other. And Neil Patrick Harris, who has not actually done any character work, but has done voice work for From a Certain Point of View audiobook narration, and also narrated a Galaxy's Edge behind the scenes thing, I think, is involved in this. Also Mark Thompson, who does tremendous audiobook narration work. And, you know, seeing him, I'm so excited that he's there, and it also makes me, wish that folks like Saskia Marleveld or January Lavoie or Carol Monda or, any number of other voice actors, Jonathan Davis, not to exclude anybody, but just seeing at least one person who's familiar with audiobook stuff there made me think, oh gosh, there were so many other people who could have been there too that would have been awesome. And another thing that I think is really awesome is that they have people from Star Wars Resistance actually doing voices. Bobby Moynihan, of course, and of course he's gone on to do other things like the guy in Tales from the Galaxy's Edge VR too. There's also a guy named Jonathan Lipow who did additional voices of random characters in Star Wars Resistance, and I'm burying the lead. Christopher Sean is back. He, of course, was the voice of Kaz Ziono in Star Wars Resistance, the main character, and he is back to do a voice in one of the Visions English dubs too. There's also folks returning from Star Wars Rebels, which is exciting, including Keone Hong, who was the voice of Commander Jun Sato, and James Hong, who is the voice of the Crime Lord as Morgan, and Kari Hiroyuki Tagawa, who is the voice of Sabine Wren's dad, Ulrich, in Star Wars Rebels. And it goes on. So there's also Shelby Young, who is the voice of Princess Leia in Forces of Destiny. You got Andrew Kishino, who is the voice of Saw Gerrera in The Bad Batch and The Clone Wars. And speaking of that, James Hong actually did the voice of a character for the Clone Wars for a couple of the unproduced episodes, the Crystal Crisis episodes that were part of the Clone Wars legacy. Not the only Clone Wars voices though. Also, George Takei, who is probably better known as Sulu from Star Trek, played Locke Durd in the Clone Wars, one of the awful Nemoidians. He is going to be doing a voice in this. And so is Paul Nakauchi, who played the ill-fated Sifo Dyas in the Clone Wars 2. And a couple of last random folks, Neil Kaplan, who's done voices for some older Star Wars video games, and Masi Oka, who is primarily known in the Star Wars world for having worked at ILM on the prequels, but is better known as Hiro Nakamura from the TV show Heroes. Now, granted, that is not the entirety of the English dub lineup. That's just the entirety of the English dub lineup who have already had interactions with Star Wars storytelling in one fashion or another. And that's quite a lineup from such a broad array of Star Wars projects. It's really exciting.
7x7 is not endorsed or sponsored yet by Lucasfilm Limited, Disney, or 20th Century Fox, and is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Star Wars, the Star Wars logo, all names and pictures of Star Wars characters, vehicles, and any other Star Wars related items are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of Lucasfilm Limited, but their respective trademark and copyright holders may the force be with them. All original content is copyright 2021 by Star Wars 7x7. We hope you love it.